All right, guys, can you believe? The whole month is done. Let's see how many I actually got done in Acrylic April. Oh! Well, gee whiz. Boom. Come on, let go. Let go. Hey guys, welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I'm here with a walkthrough, a flip through, let's count and see how many paintings I actually got done in Acrylic April. I am really excited to see everybody here. Wow. I had a whole bunch of people show up and then all of a sudden, everybody left. Did you all leave me? I hope not. I hope you're here to see what we did. I am really excited because Acrylic April was a challenge for myself to do 5 live shows a week for the entire month of April. And I did it. Now, I didn't love every single painting I did. I learned something from every single painting I did. And I think that's what we need to take away. Sometimes you're going to do something and you've got this awesome idea. You think it's going to be spectacular and it's just okay. And you know what? That's okay. So let's see. Oh, there. Now we've got people showing up in the room. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new, I did a painting a day, 5 days a week, with a couple on a weekend, but the weekend ones I didn't record. So there might be a couple sprinkled in here that don't have videos. It's just the way it is. One of them was going to be a video, but then the sound didn't work. You know? So there it is. Sometimes that happens. If you're interested, I do have all of these paintings for sale. One painting is already sold out of here as of last night. I haven't gone and looked at my orders this morning yet. So my patrons over on Patreon had a 2-day advance sale available to them that they were able to purchase the paintings for a reduced price. That's one of those benefits and perks of being a Patreon member. And if you, let's see here, are interested, sometimes my clicker is slower than my brain. If you're interested in joining us over on Patreon, there's the link in the chat. It's also down below in the more information box. If you're interested in any of the materials that I used in these paintings, all that information is down below in the more information box. Also, maybe I might have cleaned them all out. If I did, I'll put it all back because I just realized it's kind of important for you guys to know that. I used mostly Turner Acrylic Gouache for these paintings. I used assorted paintbrushes and I painted on 140-pound Arteza watercolor paper. Just yelling back. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes it's a masterpiece in your head and on the actual painting, it's not what you expected. And remember that you're learning something every time you paint. So even if the painting doesn't turn out exactly like what you had in your head, you learned something. Maybe you learned something you don't want to do again. Maybe you learned a trick that right at the end of your painting, it all started to kind of come together, but there was no way to save it. So you take that step, that trick, and move on to a new painting with it. Guys, thank you so much. I really, really am appreciating you. Yeah, we have some very excited people. So we're going to get started going through these paintings. This was day 1. Oh, before I do that, we're going to click over to my website and I will show you exactly how to get to the painting sale. Now, the painting sale was a private sale for the first 2 days. It's now listed as an open public sale. So on the top bar of my website, if you click on the Acrylic April 2020 finished paintings, you'll get a gallery. And the gallery has all of the painting names. So you've got Desert Sands and Sail Away and California Poppy. They're names that I gave them to make it easy for the people buying. Because what you'll do is you'll email me at orders@deliberatelycreative.com to get this all. I have 2 screens with this up. It's exciting. So you will send me your first name, last name, postal mailing address, and the title of the painting you want to purchase. Each painting is only $25, and that includes the shipping in the United States. And if anybody from outside of the United States wants to buy one, I've got you covered. We will just do actual shipping. Whatever the actual shipping cost is, I'm not going to charge you for the envelope and the materials going inside, except for the painting. So there we go. I will do actual shipping anywhere in the world that has a postal address that will accept shipments from the United States. And shipping might be a little slow international right now, just because of all the stuff that's going on. But so if you go in and you click on one of the paintings, you can click through and view them this way. So after the show, if you want, you're good. You're covered. Let's go back to the wide view on the desk. Remember, click that subscribe button, the like button, the share button, and, you know, let's get started playing, watching, doing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been really, really excited. Oh, and yeah, if you've been painting for a long time, you're still going to learn something every time you paint. So this was Desert Sands. It was the #1 first painting, April 1st. Now, I might have gotten a couple of them out of order down here. We'll see. But that was, let's see if I do it this way. This was fun because it was working very much with a complementary color scheme, that orange glowing sand with that beautiful dark blue sky, and then the bits of shadow. It really made me happy. Then we had the Sail Away, going on an unexpected journey, paper folded boat floating in the water. And I saw so many people doing these paintings during the month. It made my heart so happy to see. There we go. This was one of my only paintings that I did with regular acrylic paint. So this was done with the level 3 from Artist Loft level 3 from Michael's. So that's just straight acrylic paint on this one. You see how it has a bit of a gloss? Where the acrylic gouache has this more matte, velvety type of look. So this was our fire, out of the fire, California Poppy. I think that one turned out really nice. Then the daisies. Now, my contrast is set a little bit high, I think, so we're not seeing some of the details in here. But there's soft pink in these petals, and it was an experiment in figuring out how to put in lots of sort of out of focus flowers and then some very focused flowers. So, where do you buy? You send an email to you send an email to orders@deliberately-creative.com. On that website, on my front page of my website, let's just go back. I'll go back to the page there. Just a second. Come on, back to the page. Why isn't it going? Oh, there. I just had to hit the... And this one. Okay. So on the website, on deliberatelycreative.com, on the top of the website page, it says Acrylic April 2020 Finished Paintings Limited Sale. So right there. When you click on that, it will bring up well, actually, I was already on the page. It'll bring up the paintings limited sale right here. It explains about where I made these paintings, why I made these paintings, and a link to the playlist with all of the videos all in one place, so you can go through and see what paintings I did. It says all paintings are 5.5 by 7 inches, acrylic or acrylic gouache. They're $25 a painting, free U.S. shipping. Shipping to countries outside the U.S. are available at actual cost. To purchase, email orders at deliberately-creative.com. And I will prioritize these orders by the time I receive them. So when I open up my email, number one email, the oldest email in my mailbox will be the first one who gets their first pick. And then I'll work my way down. If the painting you asked for is not for sale anymore because someone before you purchased it, I will let you know right away. When you are the one who gets to buy one of these paintings, I will send you a PayPal invoice. It will say exactly the painting that you're ordering. It will list your mailing address, your street mail, postal mail address, and you'll be able to tell me if I have anything misspelled or if it's going to the wrong place. I'm basing it on the address you send me, but the invoice will show you the address. So you'll be able to double check and make sure that we've got it right. If we don't, you email me at orders@deliberatelycreative.com and I will fix your mailing address when we ship it. I need to ship it to you, the right address. Then, after you get your invoice, there's a pay button, and it's paying through PayPal. When you pay through PayPal, you have all the options of paying with your credit card or paying with your PayPal account. Works just the same as any place else. I hope that helps. And once you have received the invoice, you have 24 hours to pay. If you don't pay in that 24-hour window, I will assume that you decided, yeah, I really can't spend the money. And even if you didn't contact me back, I will just make that assumption after 24 hours. If you do not pay for it, then it's released back for sale again. I have to do that to make it fair for everybody. I hope you guys understand and that you think that this is a fair way to do it. All right. So, back to the desk. Back to the desk. There we go. All right. So, daisies. This was for innocence. Because daisies are the flower, the symbol of innocence. This was lighter than air. And these pretty little folk art butterflies. I enjoyed doing these because it's totally different than any style that I usually do. I want to play with doing this more. And if anybody's interested in it and wants to buy it, thank you. I hope that is something that will bring your heart some joy. Then we had the Spirit of Hospitality, and this is the bamboo teapot. Look at that. Isn't it dramatic? I really, really enjoyed that. Now, I will go in, and this one I forgot to clean up that edge. And the way I'm cleaning up the edge is I'm just using a little bit of white gouache on a paintbrush, and I'm just painting along that edge to take out any of those extra little wide burbles. You know what? And you guys don't have to buy. You don't have to buy any of them. A lot of you are painters and you make your own collection. And I think that's awesome. This is just out there so that if people want to purchase, they can. And, knowing that I am an artist that wants to sell my paintings too. But that's all the sales information we're going to do until the very end. Then we have this one, and I can't remember the theme for it. So there we go. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of paintings here in the house, so I totally get it when people paint their own paintings. And sometimes you want to clear them out. But I love this Sakura Blossom and how that it looks almost like you could reach in and grab it. It's very three-dimensional. This was Refuge on the lake. Little old barn, refuge, cabin, fishing shack. It was based on a photograph that I found on Unsplash of a Norwegian fishing shack. The daisy one is not sold unless you have already decided you want to buy it. The only one that I have in my head right now that is sold is the Nature is Foxy, the foxglove. And that was purchased by one of my patrons yesterday. Then we have the, I think this was for Fragrant? I'm not sure. I can't remember the theme, but it's my Forget-Me-Nots. And I really loved how this one came out. It's one of my favorites. And I am really pleased. I don't do a lot of flowery things, and I've been doing more flowers this time. And I really, really appreciate the opportunity. Zen, thank you. Yes, the Sakura Cherry Blossoms was for the Zen theme. So there we go. Then we have Fresh and Juicy. And that's very graphic, very much like a poster that, or a card that could go over the bar of a outdoor, area. Just, I love that pink juice and how the orange turned out with the glass. And you can see that the glare on here is not, the only thing that's making it blow out a little bit is my lighting. This was one that I did, and it's not a video. Now, I did record the video, but the sound didn't come across, and I'm not going to do a voiceover on it. If anybody wants it as a speed video, let me know. I'll post it as a speed video. I might do a voiceover on a speed video just talking about, the lovely lanterns and all of that. There's a video that Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, did that she used, I think, one of the same photographs from this session. And I like her watercolor that she did also, but this is acrylic gouache. Very fun. Chinese lanterns, and the picture came originally from Unsplash. Pretty much most of mine did. The cherries, again, very graphic, a style that I don't do very often, but for food, I think really works. Kind of like a Queen Anne cherry, I think. Lots of fun. Very pretty. Yes, comment on the pictures below them. You can comment on the pictures below them. And, say that you're sending an email to me. I will get that all taken care of this afternoon after the show. But make sure that you are sending them to me, sending your order to orders at deliberately-creative.com. I am, for these, truthfully, I would just go and grab some of the little photo frames that have a mat, and I would take the glass out of them. Like an 8x10 photo frame with a mat will have a 5x7 opening, and you'll be able to fit these paintings right into that. 5x7, 5.5x7 will fit nicely into an 8x10 frame with a mat. So this was fun. This was my sunset sale, is what I called it. Again, I don't have my list of the days right here. Some of them I remember. Just a second. I'll show you. This is the sunset sale. Then I did 2 of the water drop with the flower that some people say it reminded them of an eyeball. And yeah, this was the first one. This was the one that I did, the only painting I did 2 of. So this one was done as my, I want to make sure that I get it right. And it's for sale, but you have to just ask me about it because I don't have it in the gallery. I only posted the big one. This was the much bigger drop, a little bit more refined, a little bit closer to it. It just made me a little bit happier to have it bigger. But they're both beautiful and they both worked really well. Yeah, lots and lots of mats. So, yes, the water drop is in front of that flower that is right here. So water drops are like a fisheye lens, and they can take in a large area and condense it right down into that area of the water drop. So lots of fun. Very, very, very fun. It looks like eyes on a squid. Yes, actually, it does look kind of like eyes on a squid or an alien. But you can do so many different types of things here. I've seen whole landscapes painted inside of a water drop. So, you know, really cute little Victorian house that was, you basically see an edge of the door behind it here, but then you see the whole landscape inside the water drop. So much fun. This was Moonglow. It made me so happy. I really, really like this. Very monochromatic. I did that on purpose with a lot of these paintings where I was trying to limit my colors. Yes, it's reflective like a water drop. I'll go back to this because the comments are a little bit behind. Water drops are like a lens, and they will condense a view that's behind them. It will show inside of here, but it will be upside down to what you're actually seeing, just like the lens in your camera is. The lens in the camera sees something, and it brings it in upside down, and then there's a mirror inside that flips it so that you see it right side up through the viewfinder. Lots of fun things. Very soothing blue. Very cool, cool night. I like that. So, very cool night. This one, this was Pretty Poison. And, you know, Pretty Poison being that butterflies that are orange tend to be very distasteful to animals. And so animals see orange whatever way they see it. Some are not as, some animals don't have a full range of color. They're kind of colorblind, or they see in grayscale. But whatever the combination is on some of these butterflies, it signals to other animals, hey, I don't taste good. I'm going to give you a stomach ache, or I might kill you. So don't eat me. So we had another way of doing daisies, and these were sort of a crazy daisy type of flower with a beautiful orange butterfly in a wildflower meadow or something like that. Yes, this was Prussian blue. Sorry, I'm going to go back. I keep doing that. This was Prussian blue, black, and white. That's it. I might have had a little bit of ultramarine style blue, but I don't think so. It was the Prussian blue, black, and white. And I found out that Prussian blue is one of my favorite colors. And there's Nature is Foxy. And this one was already sold before the show even started. I love this. That getting that really deep, dark background in there, having the lots of bushy, planty type things growing around. Favorite thing that I learned was how to make this look like it goes inside. They really look three-dimensional, and that made me so, so pleased. There we go. Foxgloves, Prussian blue. Yep, yep. And then this was Feel the Music, and it was the fuchsia as my ballerina flowers. I was really, really tickled when a lot of people did this painting, shared it online. Just made my heart so happy. And lots of comments from people that said that they had grandmothers with the fuchsias on their porches or in their gardens, and that they always called them ballerina flowers when they were young also. That made me really happy. So, and this soft watercolory background. Everything was done with the acrylic gouache on it, so you can see the variety of things you can do with it. I keep looking over to the side because that's where my chat is. you know? Well, and learning about the shading, it was, you know, just figuring out, remembering that shadows aren't black. Shadows are a darker version of whatever the color of the plant or animal or fur or whatever it is. It's just a darker version of that, or a muted version of whatever it is. So that's a muted version. There's no black in there. That is a purple. There we go. Yeah, lots of us had grandmas with these flowers. And then the rose. And the rose, you can kind of see there's a little shine there. That's because I had metallic gold that I sort of decorated this up with. Now, there's a little smudge here that I just noticed. Before this one is sent off, that little bit there is going to get fixed, because I won't send it off that way. But this turned out to be like old-fashioned cabbage roses. And it was painted in a really simple way. And on the video, I show 3 different ways to draw a rose that I drew like 6 or 7 roses in about 5 minutes, because they don't take very long at all with the simple, easy ways that I showed you how to do. There we go. Then this was Desert Dance. And I loved the way the light ended up down here, that sort of fog in the meadow. It's sort of a sunrise picture, maybe a little after sunrise, or it could be a sunset picture. And there's some marine air coming in and filling the valley with fog. But the glow on this, and not making this a black silhouette, but making it so that there was a little bit of light from something on the other side here that was reflecting back and helping to fill in so that you could see the cactus, see the little cactus flowers getting ready to bloom. Maybe these are nighttime blooming flowers, and they're all going to just pop open and attract the critters of the night. I like that idea. And I loved how the clouds showed up on this. This is all being done on 140-pound acid-free archival watercolor paper. It's the Arteza watercolor paper. If anybody's interested, I will be plopping a new coupon code down below for 10% off your entire purchase at Arteza. And it's Deliberately Creative 10, all one word. Then we've got, yes, a big rock reflected the light back. Then we have the Mr. Magpie. And this one was a fun exercise in laying white over the blue that created a lot of these shadows and dimension. We did paint feet, but then we painted the feet out because I wanted him really standing in the grass. The original image for this had him standing on snow. I wanted it to be more springy feeling. So he's got that shiny, shiny head that is reflecting the light around him. And it's got a slight blue cast to it. Isn't that fun? Mr. Magpie. That was for Smooth Criminal. Yeah, the watercolor paper just, I love how the acrylic and the acrylic gouache and regular gouache all work on watercolor paper. It's a lot easier to store, 20 or 30 pictures in a small stack like this versus, a stack that's this tall if you have 30 panels, or a stack that's, that tall if you have, or 2 stacks that are, a foot tall if you've got 30 small, thin stretch canvases. This is nice because they're easy to ship. So that makes me happy. Easy to store, easy to ship, easy to my brain has lost my words. Easy to show. Ship, show. Store. All S. All right. So this one, this was Storm. So it's kind of like Rainstorm with the flowers and the umbrella. This is one that I learned a lot of things with. I like it, but it's not my favorite. You know, I'm going to tell you which one's not my favorite. This is not my favorite. And the reason why is because I didn't keep the tip that the angle really where this should have been rotated, and the handle, I really wanted a bigger, chunkier handle, because if a person was holding onto this handle, it would be about here in front of their face to keep the umbrella up off of their head. But it's pretty, and I do like how the flowers went in. The leaves and the way the flowers look, they're spot on. It was looser than I usually paint. I tend to like to go into details. But it's okay. Yes, did I miss a question?
What would you suggest taping down the paper onto a board to frame?
Oh, to frame?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could definitely use an acid-free tape and mount it to a board that's going to, fit inside your frame, and then put a mat over the top of it. But you can just lay this over the opening of your mat and tape it down also in a couple spots. You don't have to tape all the way around, because once it's underneath of the mat is going to keep it nice and firm against the backing. Because most mats, let's see, do I have one sitting here? I wasn't prepared for that question. Actually, what I'm going to do is ask Mark. Mark, could you come for a moment? On the shelf right there, to the far left of, the envelopes with the paintings in them, with a mat. Okay, so this is artwork that Mark did right there, and I will show what it looks like in a mat. So what happens, and now this is, he did this on a panel, but there is a backing board, and we just put two little pieces of tape on it. So I'm actually going to take this one out of the mat. Haha. And let's just grab Mr. Camel. And you see how it's a little warped, a little bit wobbly? When you slip it in behind the mat and then put the board on it like this, it makes a sandwich and keeps it from slipping around. And now you get to see my fun ancient history. Does that help you guys? There we go. Does that help? Showing how it looks in a mat. And you could do stepped mats where you have like a black edge and then the white mat, or a white edge and the black mat, or go with a blue mat or a gold mat. Whatever makes you happy. You can buy these things in, online. They have sets that you can get the envelope, the backing, and the acid-free mat.
Stephanie's stinking cute. Autumn agrees.
Well, okay, so Autumn has actually met me in person. I don't know. Thank you, Autumn. But there, see? That's what the camel looks like, the ancient history inside of the painting sandwich. And this is what that lovely feather. And I'm not taping them down so that it's a little bit slippery, but there. That's what it looks like when it's inside of a mat. And then you can actually just slide it back into the plastic sleeve or put it underneath of, you can put this under glass. If you wanted to, I would get a glare-free type glass. It doesn't have to be museum glass. This is paint that is light fast. It's not going to fade. So there we go. All right. We're getting close to the end. This is the second one to the end. Oh, here. I want to see what this one looks like under the mat. This was yesterday's painting. And this was the wave. Blue wave. Look at that. It just makes them look more finished, you know? So, but I don't have, you know, mats to, if I did them in mats to sell them, I'd have to charge a lot more for two reasons. One, I have to pay for the mat. I have a mat cutter, but I'm not very good at cutting mats. I'd have to pay for the mat material, and then I would have to pay for larger envelopes and for higher postage. There's a lot less postage by mailing this with a small piece of backing cardboard and wrapped in plastic inside of an envelope than there is for the whole sandwich inside of an envelope that's much bigger because, you know, there's more weight and all of that. But, haha, there we go. Your hubby didn't understand why there was a feather in the water. It was a portal to another world. It was a surreal painting, magical, something that's not really happening in real life, but that just turned out to be really cool looking. You don't have to understand. It's art. I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little journey through all of the paintings. Oh, I didn't even count. What did we end up with? Move that out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25? 25? Counting the 2 for the water drop. Where do you get mats? I actually got these online. I got them on Amazon, and I think that they were like $4 a piece, $4 or $5 a piece. With the, they came with the bag and the backing and the mat. And you could get black or white for the cheapest price. If you wanted colors, it was more expensive. So if anybody has any questions, I am open to a question or two, and then we're going to be signing off because, you know, sometimes you don't want to spend an hour and a half at a video. You did the ancient history? And you're working on the camel? Excellent. Yeah, you can find the mats at any of the big box art stores once they're open. They pretty much all have framing sections, and they will have pre-cut mats in standard sizes. And since these are basically 5x7, you will be able to fit it right into an 8x10 mat. You might be able to find some really deep mats or wide mats that have a really wide space that would be like for an 11x14 with a 5x7 opening. But generally, they are a 5x7 frame will do a 3x5 opening. A 8x10 frame will do a 5x7 opening. An 11x14 frame will have an 8x10 opening. That's when I'm saying opening, I mean you're buying a frame that already has a mat in it. And if you buy it at the craft store and you don't want the glass, because you don't need to put this under glass, and you don't want the glass, go to the framing department and say, I would like the glass removed. So then you don't have to figure out a way to get rid of the glass. Now, if you go home with it and then you realize you've just framed up a bunch of pictures and you have extra glass laying there, wrap the glass in paper and take it back to the craft store, to the framing department. They will recycle the glass carefully for you, so you don't have to worry about putting broken glass or potentially hurting someone down the road from your trash. How does that help? You can just put it in a frame. You don't even need a mat. So if I got a 5x7 frame, I can take the mat out and put my 5x7 picture into it. And then it would just have the nice, pretty, narrow frame around it.
Did you do anything special with paper before painting it?
Well, no, I didn't. Some of the paintings, I painted a layer of acrylic paint for the background color a couple hours before or the day before I painted it, but it was just the color I was using in the painting already. The ones that warped the most were the ones that I didn't do a pre-coat of paint on. So the water drops. The water drops didn't have any coat of background on them to begin with. I did it all live, and both of them warped. Even though they were taped down onto a piece of plastic board, and this is called Coroplast, and it is a plastic sign board that you can get in the craft section next to or craft stores next to the poster board. And it's a plastic, like plastic poster board. You can paint on it, you can cut it, you can use it like foam core to build with. If you're doing any little boxes or shelves or things like that, you can make small lightweight shelves or organizers using the Coroplast, just like you would do with cardboard or with the foam core. Oops, there we go. So, all right, guys, I think are done. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're not doing any painting today, but Monday I am going to come in with a doodle rose. If you haven't seen it, I will be getting the live scheduled. And I'm thinking that my lives, I'm going to be shifting all of my live shows to like 9:30 or 10 in the morning Pacific time, which would be noon. If it's 10 o'clock Pacific time, that would be noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, just because I can hit more of the world if I go earlier in the day. So I hope that helps. Amy has a question. What is your question, Amy? And then I will be... Now, I can't tell you if your email came through yet because I've been watching I've been doing the show, and that is over on my other computer in a different room. So, but I will be responding to you as soon as I get off the show. I will respond to your emails. Thank you guys so much. I really... When am I doing more watercolor lessons? Ooh, there's going to be some watercolor and doodling coming up. That's something that I've really been intrigued by a few other YouTube artists and artists that I've seen doing things on Pinterest. And I want to play with doing some like abstract watercolor and then going in and doodling something in that just makes me happy, and I hope will teach you guys some skills. And then there might be some, more flowers and things like that coming up also. People seem to really like the flower videos, and I really like the flower videos too. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for checking out the website and the sale on these paintings, getting your emails to me. I appreciate that, but don't feel obligated to make any purchases. Don't feel obligated to go to Patreon. Those are just opportunities to help support my channel and to help keep me in paint and paper. Thank you. Remember to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you back here again really soon. Bye. Do, do, do.